Hello there, folks, and welcome to the stream. My name is Mike D'Angelo, aka That Tellest Guy. We are back after an exceptionally long break. I think maybe we did one video last week, and it might not even have been that. We were preparing for a show at Fan Expo Philly. It went off without a hitch. We had a really good time. We met a lot of cool people, including some people who I believe brought us to that mythical 5-0 number that we needed to reach on Twitch in order to nail down the third of our fourth milestone in order to apply for the affiliate that we need, the affiliate level that we need. So next up, we need to make sure that we're bothering people to pay attention a little bit more often to get us up to the 3 views per average, or 3 viewers per average on our channel when we stream. We are headed back to a map that we started, I think, back in like the 25th of April or something like that. Been a little time, and it's kind of weird falling back into place after that long, but we will try and get back into it the best way we can, which is to just talk our way through it. So the map that we're working on right now, we're working on it in Inkarnate, is a map that we're actually using one of the Tellest Foundry pieces. Tellest Foundry is going to be a opportunity for people to find some cheap custom stamps that they can use in tabletop projects like Inkarnate. And the one that we have here is the Statue of Volin. So we have like a dwarven hero statue that we're using. And the Goldenscale Cliffs, which is the map that we're doing right now, is based on 2 books in the Tellest series that I've written, Lord of Thunder and Son of the Storm. And around the places that these take place, excuse me, my brain is already fried. I'm still recovering from not enough sleep after Fan Expo. It was just long days, a lot of work, a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of moving around boxes and stuff. And my brain is following suit with my tired ass body. So we are working our way back to sounding cognizant and conscious. But in any case, so yeah, this is a map based on the Goldenscale Cliffs from Son of the Storm, Lord of Thunder. The statue shows up in both of those books, and it's just this, reference to an old dwarven king, and we're seeing what we can do about it. The statue probably already done. We don't have to do too much there, but we do need to work on a couple of other points of interest. The bridge, probably a point of interest that we don't need to worry about, because you can see we already got rid of the little text. We don't really need the Statue of Volin. The wildflower patch, probably the next thing that we should work on. And then I think what we'll probably work on is just some wagons as the 4th point of interest, and maybe we'll have like a 5th, like unofficial one. But I was thinking the way that we kind of work on things in these kind of based on real life, well, in the Tellest universe anyway, the way that we work on it that way is kind of what happened in whatever scene that we saw them in, and the situation that we're kind of looking at now. The stuff that we saw was there was a attack by harpies on like a returning group of dwarves, and this is kind of like a good opportunity for us to kind of show that scene, or a scene kind of representative of that. Now, here's the problem. As we were looking at these 2 wagons that we were just playing with, we've got a nice green one that looks very nice, but I can't really put a horse on the end of this one because we've got stairs leading up to this one. So this one is meant to be stationary. These ones you can kind of tack a horse to, so you don't have to be all that crazy about things, but I can't do anything with that green one, and that makes me sad. So let's see what other ones we have here. That one we can throw together as well. And we've got some, we're just doing some testing real quick. So we've got some that are covered, some that aren't, and none of them are built in such a way that we can't really use them. So I think what we'll do is we'll use all 4 of these ones. Maybe we'll leave that other one off, because these ones are very similarly sized, even if they, if some of them have covers and some of them don't. And what we'll do is, I don't want them to be right on the road. I want them to be like, hey, they got to the area, they turned around, that kind of thing. So maybe what we'll do is push this one up here. So it'll almost be like they were going in a circle. And maybe we'll get the smaller one because it'll leave us a little bit more room to maneuver. I heard a mighty ding. Okay, and we'll do this one heading down this way, and this one. And I actually am not opposed to having them kind of off the map, because then that gives me something that I can use when I'm doing the next one. Hello, Nerdy Sakura. How are you? Oh, you know what? I don't think that I actually said it, but thank you to the 4 people who bumped us up to that 5-0 number. My understanding is that it's good not to say anybody's names if they joined off air, but I appreciate you nonetheless. Scooching them out so that the horses aren't so close to the wagons themselves. So let's get some horses. I didn't even know that they had a hell horse. Alright, Nerdy Sacker. I am mildly stressed. I gotta make 5 D&D characters. You know, from what I know of you, I feel like that's par for the course. I feel like that's normal. Alright, we got that one. Let's do another one over here. Oh, for one campaign. Is it... Are you making characters for you to play as, or are you doing them for, like your players to pick up for like a one-off or something like that? And we'll leave the white one away. So why do you need 5 characters? The module is Out of the Abyss. I've never played Out of the Abyss, and I'm not familiar with it. So you might have to walk me through it a little bit. Let's go and get the flowers tag, and we're going to try and throw some stuff together. We want some wildflowers for our dwarf Doran to appreciate. From my rough understanding, we will die a lot. Well, that is wonderful. I hope that you have a fantastic time with all the deaths. Let's see. We're going to throw together some normal ones, but we're also going to throw together some not so normal ones. Let's dial this one back, because this one does kind of sit a little bigger than some of the other ones. And maybe we drop the layer down a little bit as well, so that it fits underneath the blue guy. The blue guy just kind of looks like it sits higher. We do not play the traditional way when it comes to my campaigns or anything like that. I don't perma-kill my characters, but I do have a couple of people who are like, yeah, I rolled a hardcore character. Let's roll with that. Like it was everybody's first go at this, so I wanted to try and take it easy on them. Put it right there. As of right now, my first character is a human fighter who is the husband of my second character, which is a winged tiefling wild magic sorceress, who is the mother of my third, fourth, and fifth, which is a cleric. That sounds tragic. Just wiping out everybody time after time after time. Alright, let's do... I don't mind doing some lavender stuff in here, so let's do a couple of those. Eventually we're going to fill all the space with flowers, I think. As challenging as that may be. on to the next one. And we'll throw a couple of sunflowers in there. And we'll actually layer this up so that it sits higher. I do kind of want them all facing the same direction because sunflowers tend to do that. Yes, but the last one and youngest one will have a resurrection spell, so you get my drift. Well, that's good. It's good that you got a plan. We did our first D&D session in the longest time the other day. Let me make sure that that's right. Sometimes I feel like it's facing a weird direction. Yeah, it had been maybe like December or January since we played last, and I got my second group together to do their little pre-reunion episode, and that turned out pretty nice. So Nerdy Sakura says the most brutal thing about the family tree is, as of right now, the mother only has 8 HP. Senora Squishy. What kind of constitution does she have? Ooh, that's rough. All right, let's throw together some of these flower bushes too. I'll run across those from the... do some of that around like the periphery of these clusters. And this is turning out pretty nice. 6 plus 2, still not much. 14 constitution. Yeesh. Yeah, I would imagine you're not going to be keeping hold of her for too long. I like how I'm just kind of like putting these guys together like jigsaw puzzle pieces. Like, oh, that sits really nice together. Let's do that. You know what? I don't like that one as much. Put that one there, and then we'll do some other flowers around those ones. Full stats. Strength 6. Dexterity 15. Oof, that was a low roll. As a wild magic sorceress, there's a 2% chance to cast Fireball centered on myself, dealing 8d6 halved. Oh, man. Yeah, don't get too close to that one. I do not see that ending well for you. Let's do maybe like right there. Again, we're just kind of bringing these flower bushes together. And I think what we'll do is we'll turn them into rose bushes too. All right. So there's our borders. And we'll scrunch out a few areas over here so it doesn't look like it's concave. And maybe a few chunks here and there as well. Same reasoning. Okay, and let's go get those roses. DM's special point buy lets us go down to 6 and up to 18. I mean, that sounds pretty reasonable. I feel like Charisma didn't get posted. It is 18. Ah, so at least she's well liked. Is she already in the abyss? Or is she getting there and then finding her way out? It is steamy up here in this house. I was dumb and did not put my fan on. All right, we got 108 changes. Let's do a save real quick. Kind of just looks like the world's biggest Christmas wreath. I got a sleepy doggy in here and then another sleepy doggy in the hallway. You guys okay? You're so sleepy. Oh. That is an empty water bottle. That will not serve me well at all. Is it an official module, Nerdy Sacro? Or is that a like a module that you guys are kind of like running yourself? We'll do a weird one like this one. We'll say that Dorn has found some impressive flora in his time traveling the world. Yeah, it's an official module. Yeah, I've never actually played one of the official ones. I always like homebrew or play someone else's homebrew. I do like kind of want to try a what is it, Lestrade or whatever it is. But I feel like that's what you put your people through if you really want to mess with them. Let's see, we'll throw some Fey ones in there, but let's do some Camellia flowers first. Do something like this. A couple of areas. Apparently the module is written as written. You start off naked, which would be very awkward since my father is the oldest at 34, mother is 32, oldest daughter is 18, middle is 16, youngest is 14. You start naked by a person other than my DM, so I don't know what my DM will do differently. Someone is playing a survival game. Someone got survival games all up in my D&D. Came up with the family. So you had mentioned that that you've got the 5 characters, and again, this is clearly coming from someone who has no idea about the module or what it's supposed to do. Are you playing all 5 at the same time, or is it when one dies you take over the other, and how does that work logistically? It's going to be one of those stupid busy maps that I make, because these flowers are tiny and I got a long way to go. I don't know how it works logistically, but I do assume we are only playing as one character per death. That is pretty interesting, though. Like trying to figure out like the, you know, whether or not you're the player or the DM, the logistics of moving on from one character to the next. There's a an indie game that has since had a sequel that I really like that has like that same kind of concept, Rogue Legacy, where like you're always playing as like the next descendant or something like that, and I like it. It's pretty cool. Anytime I'm ever talking to you about your D&D stuff, it always sounds like it's pretty impressive, so I'm sure that it's gonna go over well for you. Kind of throwing some flowers in the gaps here and there just so that you can kind of see them going through those things. And we've got a decent chunk down there, so we'll do a little bit more over here. Do a couple out here on the outer edge and in the center a little bit. Alright, let's go to another flower type. Let's do, we got pansies, poppies, gazanias, Other player does have characters who are related. His third character is the brother of his fourth character, and the fourth character will only show up when the third dies and is looking for the fourth. Oh, that makes sense. I feel like that's like a common occurrence in a lot of D&D. Like, hey, I want to play in the same family. Sometimes it's like the same character class. I don't want to move away from my character class. I was enjoying it. So I'm going to do basically the same thing. Do two of those guys side by side. We'll do a triple cluster over here. Oh, that one shouldn't be above the lavender plant. All his classes are different. Barbarian, Cleric, Gloomstalker, and Rogue. He doesn't think he's going to need the fifth. He's got a little bit of faith in himself. Alright, at that point, we've gone all the way around. Let's move into the next one. Let's do these bromeliads. I don't know if I'm pronouncing them right, but that's okay. I want you to be random and randomized. Little guy. DM only asked for between 2 to 4. I added the 5th because the concept I got is too good. Plus, having a wild magic sorceress means there's a higher chance I die faster. Yeah, that's true. When your DM was talking to you about it, did he expect like full party kills, or was it more like, hey, we're gonna kind of whittle you guys down bit by bit? Let's throw that one under the lavender too. I feel like the lavender should be kind of higher up. And then let's grab another one. And we'll do something there and there. Almost getting to the edge there. That's a good one. So 200 changes. Let's make another save. He thinks the first characters will be a total party kill, and if we manage to survive, we will be extremely lucky. I like it. My first campaign scenario, it was an intentional team party kill, but the whole concept was like it was a fake out. They were deceived. They were meant to believe that they were in a bad guy's dungeon, and they were not actually in a bad guy's dungeon. Alright, these ones are a little too small. So let's do that. I think there might actually even be like a flower set for the brushes that I want to use. So that might help to clear out some of the blank spots that we're doing through some of these. Trying to look at the reference photos I got for 2 class characters and decide what they are from looks. Now, when you say the reference photos you got from the 2 classes, is that just like from like one of the books or something different? You on top. You guys are supposed to be on the bottom. You're growing beneath the sunflowers. You okay, Luna? AI generated photos to get inspiration for what these girls look like. That makes sense. I feel like I've heard of that happening a lot recently. taking the AI photos, bringing them over to Hero Forge, yada yada yada. Bromeliad. I can't believe it's already like May, and I can't believe it's only May and it's cooking in this room as much as it is already. I think we're gonna get to that point where we're gonna try and see if my microphone doesn't completely explode from the sound of the fan next to it. All right, let's tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a little break from flowers for a bit. We are gonna keep working our way towards the center there, but I don't know if I could do this 800 more times on this stream and still feel good about myself. So let's do some flocking instead. We're gonna do some rocks and boulders and stuff like that. Where's my boulders? Gotta get rid of those flowers. I don't really like those boulders as much as I like these big ones down here in the terrain, because it's easier, I feel like, to layer these ones. And what we'll do is we'll put one of these ones over here. Actually, we'll use this big one first. Put this one over top. And that's why they're making that wide turn. Can't really make a right over there. Let's do that other one too. I'll resize this one and shrink it down a little bit. So I want that to appear. There we go. And then what we'll do is actually bring that top one over. It's going to sit right between the two of them. Maybe shrink that one down a little bit too. Let's go do maybe a couple more of those a little bit further down. If you'd like to see what they look like and don't have links banned, I can show you. Yeah, I don't have links banned. Not yet. Thus far, nobody has made me super sad. Problem with these boulders, as always, is it doesn't do anything with the HSBC. I don't think. I know it does a little bit. We can roll with that. There we go. Looks a little bit more like the cliffs around it. Okay, we're gonna go into this real quick. Oh, they're cute. Very nice. Flickering black magic. It's going to be so sad when they die. But that was the choice you made. All right, let's do another one of these, maybe a little bit further down. Actually, we'll hide it beneath the bridge. And that'll be kind of cute. Not straight to the right like that. We'll do something like that. And even further down, way in the down there's, oh, that's perfect. Yeah, again, like I said, you can't really use a lot of the other rocks. 4,000 gold and diamonds to bring them back. And you're going to be playing in the abyss. It'll be fine. Uh-oh, that one's above. Now it's not. Alright, we got that one. Let's do another one of these ones somewhere here at the bottom. Alright. You know what? I feel like using that one that close to that one is kind of silly, so let's do a blend. We'll do that one and this one. Run them together. cluster. I don't need that one, though. Actually, what we'll do is grab both of them. No. Grab the old-fashioned way. Hide them underneath that. All right. We're going to go and get a cave because that's the whole point of these cliffs. Just going to grab this guy and start working our way into some of these things. The idea with the fifth kid is that she is a priestess, and when she casts resurrection, since it takes a toll on herself and the person the spell is casted on, that her pure white hair will start slowly turning black the more time she casts the spell. Well, that's kind of cool. I like how big you think of these things. I'm like, my guy doesn't like his family. They're mean. That's it. That's all I got. But perhaps that's why I'm the dungeon master and not a character creator. Let's see. Keep some of these things a little subtle. Actually, real quick, let me move this out and see if the HSBC stuff here works too. A little, not tremendously so. It's alright. I don't really need it to go crazy. Okay, and then we'll have a little cave over here. It's a little tricky. Gotta make sure that we blend it nicely. Alright, so we got a couple of caves down there. Maybe what we can do is blend them a little better. Nerdy Sakura says, in the next session or so, we will eventually have the opportunity to explore Ricaria's hometown. But first, our quest needs to get done. Which one's Ricaria? Is that your number one, or is that the mom, the cleric? Go to, oh, you know what, that works. Just grabbing some shatters. Bump that up a smidge. Whoops, that's way too dark. Let's see, we'll do like 40% and see if it plays nicer. Different tiefling with different family. A campaign from level 1 to 11. Ah, okay. You move so quick, I can't keep up. Okay. Trying to help and evoke the idea that there's not just a wall here, but a cave. Okay, I think it'll work. Especially when these get blown up onto like bigger maps. I think it looks good. You know what? Let's do a little bit more down here. This one's a little tougher. Maybe we could even throw something there to let them know if there's something there. That one's okay down there, I feel like. I was thinking like a minecart, but it really doesn't like make sense to come out here. Well, I'll put some thinking into that. Let's save it just because so much of that was manual. I know it's only 41 changes, but Nerdy Sakura says she is the daughter of human Richard Moonridge, daughter of Sicaria Moonridge, sister to Etheria Moonridge. She hasn't seen her father or sister since she left town, and she hasn't seen her pet husky since then either. That's the most tragic part of this. Alright, we gotta do some more flocking. So I'll come back to ideas to fill those little things more. But I think rock is what we want. Yep. Remembering. Alright, let's do some stuff up top first. So we do know that there's some chips into all the statue bits that we see here. Because we can clearly see in the work itself that it's taken a little bit of a beating over time. We don't have to stick to the cracks on the platform because we know that the actual statue is getting weathered over time as well. Now it's Dorn, the dwarf we were talking about earlier. It's his job to maintain this statue, so it was important to us that we get this in there. Now let's do, I think these stones we can change the color of as well. Let's zoom it in. Let's see if we can't change that. It's -17 feels good. 105 feels good too. So now when we drop it back down to, 25 or so, and start using that around these cliffs, they'll look more the part. Husky is named Biscuit. I like it. It's going to be so awkward to have to say daddy when she sees her father, because I think that's what she would say. It's not that awkward. You just have to make it whimsical. Daddy! Alright, we gotta go to the other side. Some more flocking over here. We're gonna have some stray plants too. We definitely have a little bit of greenery down there and everything, but we want to have a couple of hardy weeds and stuff that are holding on. Just realized I missed the northernmost cliff on the other side. Just gotta make sure we catch that. Do some stones up here. We ended up bringing a couple of these maps with us to Fan Expo when we went last weekend, and I got called an idiot for not putting them for sale. I was just trying to display them and show hey, we have a drive-through RPG account. If that sounds cool to you, you should go and check us out. And someone was like, yeah, you're an idiot. You should really be selling these. Don't worry about them being on display. We had such a good time with it. I think we're going to try and go to PAX Unplugged this year and have a table. I don't know if they do tables or if they just do booths, but we'll find out. I know you do. I feel like you could do a full stream just doing character creation, and I feel like it would serve you well. Ooh, that's an itch. Yeah, definitely. I've seen other people do that too. Just writing up their biography and talking it through with their watchers. I think that it would go over really well. Especially because a lot of times when I see people doing that, they're not using, the AI stuff. And I feel like as long as you're not selling AI, not that many people are going to be upset with it. If you're trying to profit off of it and you're taking jobs away from otherwise hardworking artists, that's where things get a little murky. And let's go down one more little layer. Do a couple of these last green ones. I think I saw one over here. And we'll go down even further. Start doing a couple of stones here that you're not going to even notice until it goes HD. But I know it's there. I mean, I am a writer who also will use the tool of ChatGPT. It can't outshine my writing skills, but it sure can help inspire my next chapter or paragraph. You know what the thing is? I feel like writing is such an intensive process that it's very hard to... ChatGPT and all kinds of AI tools, they're definitely finding ways to make them do better and more eloquent processes and stuff. But I have plenty of clients who will want me to promote a book, who send me stuff that's purely AI, and you can always tell. There's a lot of redundancy. There's a lot of there's like the big joke right now that like humans don't use the word delve. There's some odd word choices that kind of, I speak way too, my vocabulary too big sometimes, and but it's consistent. And a lot of times I feel like when you're doing AI, you notice that there's a lack of consistency, and all of a sudden there's just some big word. And I mean, you could do that as a human too, but I feel like it strikes you as a little bit more, it's more opaque, I feel like. Transparent? No, it's transparent. I don't know anymore. My brain is on fire up here in this hot room. I did those rocks over here, so I don't need to do anything crazy over there. But 115 changes. This is 115 changes. So let's make that save and take a sip. I have ADHD, and I have a tendency to write somewhat redundantly. I mean, I do too, but not quite the same way that you'll see AI do. Like, AI will do the same paragraph exactly twice or something like that. That said, I will say that I conducted an interview recently, and I conduct my interviews in like 3 phases because I want to. Number one, I don't like conducting interviews live, so like I don't do it via voice. I do it via like a Word document. And the person who I was talking to, when he was chatting with me, one of like his phase 1 questions was exactly the same as a phase 3 question answer. So even humans do it. I think it's normal to some extent. Put a couple more stones over here on the pedestal itself. That way it doesn't look like it's completely clean, even though we see those cracks and everything. Got A's on my writing essays while saying the same things in multiple paragraphs, so I don't know. That means that your teacher was not paying attention. I'm going to have to throw some stuff in these wagons, too. Alright, let's see. I don't really need that named anymore. We have that. Eventually, we're going to need to figure out something for over here. The wagons are likely not traveling from this side to this side. Because that bridge is too narrow. I mean, not really. They probably could fit. But there's not really anyone living topside over here, so they would kind of unload their stuff over in the entrances over here and do their thing that way. But we don't have any trees. Let's do some pine trees, because we do know that there's going to be some of them in this area. And we're going to keep them small for now. I definitely have to do some cleanup down here. I have to do some better blending and stuff like that. I'll tell you what, we're going to change that one for this one, because that one's a little smaller. Yeah, just too much of the same going on there. We definitely need to change it, make it look a little different. If we do end up going off there, it's unlikely, but you never know. Let's see. The teacher that Nerdy Sacker had actually was a very detailed instructor. I think I just happened to write well enough to have him get blindsided. The only teacher I liked was him. Every single writing prompt I did was all about my bestie at the time. Was it a husky named Biscuit? Because he's my bestie right now. You know what? We'll have a pine tree up top as well. Pine trees can be hardy. And let's throw some of them pine cones around, shall we? That's the limit of our pine cones, is this little guy here. Let's drop that down to 30 and see if it... Yeah, I mean, figure a couple of those is 5 feet across, so this is big enough to tell our point. However, I would like it if you guys rotated the angle a little bit. That would be nice. Her name was Stephanie. What is... So you said at the time, everything okay? Dial that bad boy down. Down to like 5. Again, nobody's going to see this, but I know it's there. And we're coming up to the end of the hour, so pine cones in the lake is probably going to be the last thing that we do for a little bit. And then we'll get ready to wrap things up. Darn that rap music. Let's see, I think they are alive and well still. I haven't chatted with them for 3 to 4 years now, I think. They decided to delete their Instagrams, which is how I was able to chat with them. Yeah, that always stinks. It stinks, especially in this day and age where, like, we're able to be so close to one another, like by proximity of the digital stuff that we do, and that people still kind of disappear. You know what, though, at the same time, you know, not in this case, but in some cases it really helps someone to disappear if they need to. Alright, I already got that bridge locked. Let's lock this one too. That way when we are starting to work on various things down here, we're able to do it without much of a mess. Let's see here. That's why I am not certain they are alive. COVID kind of happened after they left. Yeah, that's true. Well, hopefully they were smart about it and things like that, and it didn't end up getting them, or if it did, it didn't end up taking them out. We all certainly, I feel like, know somebody who didn't make it through that time, and it's still dangerous too. We take it for granted that we're 4 years out from this, but it still does happen from time to time to people. You know what? Shoot, I need some rocks over here too. Maybe just a little rock here and there up there. All right. I am going to hit the save button one more time, and we are hitting that pretty close to that 1 hour mark. So let's head to our show closing screen. So folks, on the screen right now, you should see all the places that you can find Tellest content out there on the internet. Tellest.com is a great first place to start at. But after that, if you want to go to some of our premium sites, patreon.com/Tellest is a next good place that you could go, especially if you want to get some digital stuff from us. We have our battle maps up there on Patreon. Right now we have, I believe, well, at least on DriveThruRPG, we have 91 downloadable items. On the Patreon, I think it's probably a little less than that at this point, but something like 90 battle maps with 263 variants. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we also do some art things. Just realizing now that I didn't do anything this week. Nerdy Sakura, it was nice talking to you as well. The man do want his chalky milk. It's been forever since the man had his chalky milk. Moving on, the next place that you can go for some premium good stuff is the Etsy store, tellest.etsy.com. When we were at the convention, again, earlier in this session, I was telling you I got called an idiot for not selling our battle maps, and when we had them on display, they were getting a lot of good buzz. So some people asked me to put some other battle maps together for them. So we're actually, right now, we've got 41 battle maps up in these giant 18 by what is it, 18 by 36 inch gamepad. They look great. They feel great. You can use them as like just a mouse pad afterwards if you have like a nice computer desk to work with. And starting later this week, we're going to try and start to do like one map every day to try and get, because like I said, we have like 263 variants. Sometimes they work for these maps, sometimes it's such an insignificant change that we probably won't do anything, but we're definitely going to increase our numbers in that regard. Anyway, the last two places, no, I'm sorry, we got more places. So if you're seeing this now, chances are you're seeing it on youtube.com/@worldoftellest. But if you want to chat with us live, the only way to do that is on twitch.tv/thattellestguy. We spent a lot of time chatting to Nerdy Sakura today, and it was great fun. And I would enjoy talking to you as well if you find this channel through YouTube and want to find us on Twitch on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. I think I went out of order because I usually talk about the Weird Witch Wand stuff on Etsy, and then use that to segue into the TikTok. Rihanna ended up bringing a bunch of wands to the convention this past week and sold a bunch as well. It was a very good time watching everybody gush over how nice they were. So if you want to see those wands, you can go to tiktok.com/@weirdwitchwands. She puts together these nice little vignettes of the wands when they're finished and everything like that. And then you can find them on the tellest.etsy.com store, where we have them for sale. They're one of a kind, handcrafted. They're really nice quality. So go give them a look. And since I'm talking about TikTok channels, go check out tiktok.com/@tillsoftellest. And you can tell by the way that I'm rambling that my brain is fully boiled at this point. So we'll take this opportunity to step away. But we will be back tomorrow. Oh, you know what? I won't be back tomorrow. I have a after hours work thing. You know what? I might be on tomorrow. I think it only goes until like 8, so maybe I'll do a late session if I've still got energy. We'll play it by ear. But one way or another, you'll see me again soon. Nah. What do you mean, nah? You don't know. Folks, I miss you.